Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas.
Before the break, I asked you a quick question. Did Henry Ford make a car out of soybeans? The answer is yes. In 1941, a car was built with plasticized panels made from soybeans and hemp, which made for a lighter, more fuel-efficient car.
Coming up on the track next, we have the SKF Pre 66 Sports and GTs, ISPs, Classic Thoroughbreds, Little Giants, and Pre 84 Sports and GTs. It promises to be a great race.
It's a TVR Vixen, made in the UK in the 60s. 1600cc four-cylinder engine, nice taut little chassis, and it just gets around the track really nice. Car's been racing in South Africa for probably about 8 years. I'm the third owner here. It's the only one in the country, and looking forward to a long and successful season with it. It's very nippy, not super quick, but very good through the corners and under brakes. I can stay with the bigger cars in the twisty bits, and then they pull away from me a little bit in the straights. But as far as the class I'm running in is concerned, it's very competitive.
I hope we bring it to the end of the day this time. So, I mean, the last 2 times I didn't finish. So, fixed everything. Let's see.
I think a lot of us also a bit nostalgic today, being the last time out on this layout. So we all want to do good, because we want to say that, you know, that was our best time that we did on the last layout, because you'll always have that, and nobody will ever change that. But I qualified third in class, so I've got George and Stefan to chase, and just hope it's a good race.
The cars are waved out the pre-race area and onto the track. Jonathan Dutoy will lead the field off the start line in his Chevron B8. Craig Peterson in his Lola T70 starts alongside him. Mark Dutoy takes third in his Lola T70 Spider, with Peter Bailey in the Porsche 917 beside him. Round the final bend they come, gearing up to take the start. Philip Pantazis in his Datsun Imsa 260Z joining the Pre 84 Sports and GTs for the first time. The lights are out and the grid roars off the line and down to turn 1. Great start from Peterson, and he takes the lead into turn 1, and Jonathan Dutoy follows him through the first set of bends. Neil Lobb in his Lola T70 has managed to get ahead of Peter Bailey. Further back, there's a battle of the Porsche 911s between George Avakomides and Stefan Pushaves as they run side by side through turn 3. Jonathan Dutoy has closed up on the back of Craig Peterson as they head down the back straight. Peterson able to put the power down and move away, and he will lead the way into Sunset. Through Sunset, the front of the field flow. Oliver Dallaire in his GT40 just ahead of Peter Jenkins in his Chevron B19, but Jenkins puts the power down and takes the position from Dallaire round the outside, and the Chevron leads the GT40 up to Clubhouse. Peterson at the front has a great view of the field behind him as they power down the short straight on their way to the S's. Peterson, Dutoy, then Neil Lobb is closely followed by Peter Bailey and Colin Frost in their Porsche 917s. Through the S's, and Lobb is managing to keep them behind him. Up into Learcorp, and Frost has a look up the inside of Bailey. Into the first left-hander, and Frost has the inside line. He gets ahead of Bailey and maintains the advantage through the second left-hander. Bailey unable to fight back. Down the mine shaft, Craig Peterson leads Jonathan Dutoy. Dutoy looking for a way past the Lola T70. Into the bowl, and Peterson kicking up a lot of cement dust. This poses no problem for Dutoy, who takes the inside line through the bowl and makes his move on Peterson. Coming into the bowl, Oliver Dallaire, George Avakomides and Stefan Pushaves are having a great battle, and Shane Frost is just behind them. Climbing the hill, Frost has a look up the inside of Pushaves, but he's not close enough yet. Round turn 13, Avakomides leads the battle. Pushaves is on his bumper and pushing hard. Down the inside, Pushaves moves. He's got the line for the final corner, but Avakomides is able to stay ahead and leads them down the start-finish straight. Shane Frost has been watching this battle with interest and is now making his move. He pulls alongside Pushaves and they race down the straight. Into turn 1, and it's the GT40 ahead of the Porsche. Avakomides will be aware of what is going on and will be keeping an eye on his mirrors for the Gulf-colored GT40. The Battle of the Darts descends to turn 1, with Andre de Kork ahead of Ishmael Beloy. Behind them, Willem Brits in his Porsche 923 has just been lapped by race leader Jonathan Dutoy in his red Chevron B8. The race leader rapidly closes the gap to the Darts and lines up Beloy heading into turn 3. Down the inside he goes and makes the pass. Peter Jenkins in his yellow Chevron B19 has his hands full, keeping the Datsun Imsa of Philip Pantazis behind him. Mark Dutoy has the Porsche 917 of Colin Frost bearing down on him as they come through the bowl. There's close racing throughout the field, which is great to watch. Frost keeping the pressure on Dutoy as they go through turn 13 and down to the final corner on the track. The Porsche 917 right on the bumper of the Lola T70 Spider. George Avacomedes will have been aware of the GT40 in his rearview mirrors for a while now as they come into the bowl. Shane Frost relentless in his pursuit. Up the hill to turn 13 they climb. Avacomedes managing to fend Frost off. Down the hill, Pushav watching this battle with keen interest. Avacomedes has the inside line going through turn 14 and stays ahead of Frost for now. Down the start-finish straight, the Ocean Basket Porsche holds off the GT40. Frost moves to the right and takes the inside line for turn 1, and this moves him up ahead of Avacomedes. The GT40 keeps the power down and holds the position. Coming through Leocorp and Peter Bailey in the Porsche 917 laps Andrew Wilson in the TVR Vixen. Rounding turn 14 for the final time, it's Jonathan Dutoy in the Chevron B8 who will find the checkered flag waiting for him. Great race from him with a comfortable victory of over 10 seconds. Second place is going down to the wire though, with Craig Peters ahead of Mark Dutoy as they come through the final turn. Over the line they go. Peters takes it by a mere 0.2 of a second. Willem Brits is locked in battle with Ishmael Beloy as they head for the flag. Coming out of the final bend, and Brits has run wide, kicking up some dust, and this will cost him as Beloy is able to get past and pips him at the line by 0.1 of a second. Confirmation of the results, and Peter Bailey edged out Colin Frost by 0.1 of a second. Peter Jenkins managed to keep Philip Pantazis behind him, finishing 0.6 of a second ahead of the Datsun.
It was absolutely great. The race of my short career. I managed to beat the king of Kyalami. I've always wanted to do it, and today is the day. I'm so happy.
I think, George, we must give you the most improved driver for 2015.
Thank you.
You learned a lot, and yeah, it's difficult. I don't think there's a way past you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The car is too broad, too wide.
Too wide, yes. Well, I learned from the great drivers, but yes, thanks to everybody that participated. Thank you, Stefan, for a great race. Our sponsors, Ocean Basket, the fish were flying today, and it's just been an awesome day. Thanks.
Yeah, and next race?
Next race?
Okay, let's see.
Let's see.
Okay, have fun.
The lights go out, the engines rev, and they're off. Craig Peterson gets a great start again and moves into the lead ahead of Jonathan Dutoy as they head into turn 1. Further back, Shane Frost, Peter Jenkins and Philip Pantazis go 3 abreast into turn 1. Jenkins comes out ahead, followed by Pantazis and Frost. Colin Frost has a look at Neil Lobb heading into turn 3, but is not close enough yet. Andre van der Merwe will have a great seat in this race with George Avacomedes and Stefan Pushav in front of him, picking up where they left off in race 1. Van der Merwe holding onto the back of Pushav and taking the toe through turn 4 and down the back straight. Mark Louth powers past Van der Merwe. Jonathan Dutoy has brother Mark right behind him with the orange Lola T70 of Neil Lobb right behind him. Andre van der Merwe comes through Sunset in hot pursuit of Stefan Pushav, and it looks like Mark Louth is slowing as they head up to Clubhouse. Pushav goes around the outside of Louth, and van der Merwe will be passing him soon if the problems continue. Neil Lobb leads Colin Frost, Peter Bailey and Peter Jenkins through the S's. Jenkins right on the tail of Bailey as they climb up to Leocorp. Up at the top of Leocorp, and Frost has closed in on Neil Lobb as they go through the first left-hander. Peter Bailey, meanwhile, is closing in on Colin Frost as they head out of Leocorp. Coming down the mine shaft, and Jonathan Dutoy is pushing hard and closing in on Craig Peterson. Into the bowl, and Dutoy is right on the bumper of Peterson. He moves to the inside, and in a repeat of race 1, moves ahead and into the lead. George Avacomedes coming up to the S's will follow Shane Frost past the Cobra of Warren Lombard. Stefan Pushav is right behind Avacomedes as they go through the S's. The 2 Porsche 911 RSRs are locked in battle again. Into the bowl, and Willem Brits in his Porsche 923 leads Ishmael Beloy in the GSM Dart and Colin Green in his Mazda 323. George Avacomedes is side by side with Stefan Pushav as they come into the S's. Pushav makes his move and slips ahead of Avacomedes. through the S as they wind. Other Comedies now chasing Pushavez up the hill. The Ocean Basket Porsche has a look down the inside of the MI Equipment Porsche as they come into Leerkorp. Pushavez fends him off for now. Other Comedies will not give up though. Britt, Beloy and Green cross the start-finish line and tick off another lap. Race leader Jonathan Dutoy in the red Chevron B8 is coming up to lap the trio. Down the hill to turn 14, Neil Lobb is still under pressure from Colin Frost and Peter Bailey. Frost braking late to avoid contact with the Lobb, spins the Porsche 917 round, and Bailey and the rest of the field narrowly missed touching him. Lucky escape for Colin Frost. Down the mine shaft and into the bowl, Oliver DeLay leads Shane Frost and Stefan Pushavez. Frost sees a gap and takes the inside line through the bowl, moving alongside DeLay. Up the hill, Frost moves ahead. Pushavez is also having a look, but not able to do anything yet. Other Comedies have slipped a bit behind the trio. Round turn 13 and down the hill to the final bend, and Frost has pulled a slight gap on Oliver DeLay, who is now feeling the pressure from Stefan Pushavez, who is pushing hard for a way past. Andre van der Merwe in his yellow Porsche 911 RSR is closing on what looks like to be a slowing George Other Comedies. Into sunset, and van der Merwe takes the position away from Other Comedies, who looks unable to fight back. Ishmael Beloy leads Colin Green through turn 14, and the pair will be crossing the line to start their final lap of the race. Into the bowl comes race leader Jonathan Dutoy, who is making his way past the MPT Sports of Dennis McBeath. Craig Peterson, second, is coming under pressure from Mark Dutoy as they make their way through the bowl. The pair pass Alan Garrow and the Cobra and head up the hill. Mark Dutoy is really pushing hard and trying to make the traffic work to his advantage. Through turn 13, and Peterson is still ahead. Dutoy tries to take the inside line but isn't close enough and has to brake hard, and Peterson leads him through. It's not over yet, and it is still a race to the line. Peterson finishes ahead of Dutoy, but a jump start sees him drop down. Oliver DeLay and Stefan Pushavez are still neck and neck through the final bend, and it will be a sprint to the flag. The GT40 putting the power down and edging out the Porsche. Andre van der Merwe is also pushing hard, tries to take Pushavez on the line, but misses out by 1/10 of a second. There's been some fantastic racing throughout the field. Jonathan Dutoy taking double victory on the day ahead of brother Mark. Craig Peterson getting a 30-second penalty for a jump start drops to 6th place. Oliver DeLay, Stefan Pushavez and Andre van der Merwe separated by 0.6 of a second at the line.
You know, we had a good day's racing to start off with, you know, and so on. We had a good start, managed to stay with Jonathan a little bit, and started getting a little bit tired towards the end, and I saw Mark coming up behind me right towards the end, and I had to do some blocking in order to keep him behind me. But otherwise, congratulations, he did a good race and it was great fun.
We had a great day. I mean, my car ran as best as ever, and I really enjoyed chasing Craig around.
Peter and I had a very good day today. Race 1 was a lot closer than race 2, but I really enjoyed it. It's the first time I've come to drive with Sports and GT with the IMSA Datsun. I really had a good day with Peter. It was nice and close.
Yeah, we seem to have it sorted. We got it sorted just before Desi, thanks to a lot of hard work by my team and Clive Densham, and had a wonderful battle with Philip today. I mean, that's such a beautiful car that he's got, and I spent quite a bit of time behind him in the first race. It handles beautifully, and he really is a good racer and drives like a gentleman.
Join us after the break for more great action from the Midas Historic Tour.